Good afternoon, fam, and hoorah and simplify. I want to start out sending a shout out to Linda Ballard and 911 Health and Vondell at the Slap. Check out these two content creators, for they got good content on mental health. I want to start out today on Ad-Vance. I ain't trying to dog on nobody, but I just want to ask some questions. And you probably want to ask the same questions thing. Now, Tupac once said, a coward died a million deaths, but a soldier died but once. Okay, JD, you're a Marine Corps. You served. You probably saw some things, or may have not have. But wasn't the Marine Corps code was semper fidelis, or simplify, meaning always loyal? So let me ask this question. Why are you taking loyalty and oath to a man who called people who serve in the military, especially the Marine Corps, Ad-Vance? Yes, Marine Corps, because you did serve in the Marines. Suckers and losers. Now, how would that make you feel if someone who's supposed to be the commander-in-chief called you a sucker and a loser because you took the oath of protecting the Constitution and the country? So, JD, let me ask a question: Are you for the country, or are you for Donald Trump? Now, let's go back to Roman history. The same question had been brought up to Bruticus in the Senate when Julius Caesar assumed power as emperor. And one of the senators said to Bruticus, we know Caesar is your friend, but we also know that you're a man of integrity and a man of honor. So are you for your man, Julius Caesar, or are you for country? Now, Bruticus pondered on this idea because he looked up to Caesar as like an older brother or father figure. Same like Michael Cohen looked up to Donald Trump, and Trump threw him under the bus. Ask Michael Cohen. Ask former Vice President Mike Pence after January 6th, where he didn't do Trump's bidding and threw him under the bus and allegedly trying to get Pence killed, not once, but twice. With that being said, my mom always told me, JD, that be careful of the company that you keep and ask questions. Basically, if you have to do a 44 background check, a 44 background check is a government form do background checks on if a person is eligible to sell firearms or buy a firearm. So the questions you have to ask yourself, Mr. Vance, before advancing forward or moving forward to the next level, is the person that you're serving is for country or for himself? Next question you need to ask: is your employer is mentally stable? You should know the answer to that question, because the last debate he became unhinged and unglued. Third of all, about integrity. If you find something that's not right and it goes against the Constitution, will you carry out the order for your boss knowing that it goes against the Constitution? A lot of things to think about. Mr. Vance, there's also something about there is no honor among thieves. Your boss is a thief. He claimed that the election was stolen. Now, now we have cases against the predecessor. We got a case out in Georgia about tampering with the Georgia election. We got a case coming out in Arizona. Now, all these cases, and he got indicted not once, not twice, but 34 times. Now, let me ask you a question. Who in the right mind could run for president on 34 felony convictions? Shoot, on a good day, on one felony conviction, you lucky to get an apartment. Tupac said this quote back in 1996 or 93 in his Me Against the World album. A coward dies a million deaths. A soldier died but once. Mr. Vance, you should know this. A soldier, regardless where odds against him, never back down. Your boss, Donald J. Trump, is a coward. He allegedly got out of the military without fake doctors know. While people like yourself, my father, my brother, was out on the battlefield serving and protecting their country, your boss, Donald J. Trump, was probably at Mar-a-Lago serving hors d'oeuvres. Will you like wine with that great poupon? Now, what person who be a commander-in-chief and disrespect the military? Now, yesterday was September 11th, the day of the Twin Towers collapsing. We're honoring the lives of those that were lost and those who served that day of first responders. What did you do that day? Of course, your boss, he probably was playing golf at Mar-a-Lago, playing 18 holes. Now, the question you should ask about the mental stability of your boss, go to Linda Bell Health 911 and look up narcissists and look up the characteristics of narcissists. Now, a narcissist does not, and I repeat, does not like to be told no, does not like to be held accountable, does not like rules, is all about himself. And the reason why it's all about himself because in his own mind, he is the star. There's no room on the stage or in his head or her head for no one else. Now, if you would have saw the last debate, he was on his pity party. Now, I remember in history class, we was talking about Germany in the days of Hitler around 1932, where he became the power. Do you want to go down that road? And that history didn't end up well because in certain points of history, and some psychologists did study on Hitler's mind, he became unhinged, like Donald J. Trump becoming unhinged. Be careful of the company you keep because you know what? That same person that's supposedly your boss, he may not like you down the road. In fact, didn't he allegedly try to fire you because you weren't doing so well in the polls? Sure enough. Now, here's the thing. You want to move forward and not backwards. You want to be you want to be on the right side of history. By being on the right history, make the right choice. The question is, are you for a man, Donald J. Trump, who is for chaos, for himself, and being on the wrong side of history with 34 convictions? Okay, not misdemeanors, felony convictions. Or do you want to be on the right side of history for country, for advancement, and for unity and not division or self-pity? Now, I remember this too in the debate. He could not move to the next issue. He couldn't answer the question that the moderator asked him. Now, why he could not move forward to the question that was being asked? Because simple, a narcissist lives for that moment in time, and they are stuck in that moment. Mr. Vance, do you want to be stuck in that moment of time? No, you want to move forward. Now, do you want to be for the people and giving the people for what they want, or do you want to go for a dictatorship, going for what he wants? Now, a lot is at stake. And I remember growing up, going back to mom saying, be careful of the company that you keep. Sometimes if you're in the wrong company, the company that you keep can and will compromise your moral compass and your decision making. Now, with that being said, have you, with the questions I asked earlier, have you took a great thought about who is your boss Donald J. Trump is? Why is he running for president again? Is he for the people? Now, if all these questions says no, then be a man, be a true Marine veteran and said, I'm done, I'm dropping out. Find another VP candidate. Now, to all my viewers out there, you're probably thinking about behaviorism, a narcissism. You probably have experienced a narcissist in your life and you didn't know what the word was for. You probably had going day in, day out, and you was wondering why this boss is always targeting you, or why he's reflecting bad judgment onto you. Well, because the answer is simple. Your boss, your coworker, the person that's your significant other may be a narcissist. They're reflecting their negative traits onto you. You're not the person at fault here. They're reflecting their attributes on you, which try to make you look bad. And they like to play the victim card. Donald J. Trump, he whines and cries about how the election was stolen and how the justice system was so unfair. Oh, whoa, my people who didn't show up to my events. He's always woeing and crying by himself. He makes Wilbur in Charlotte's Web a Superman, and even the pig had more sense than Donald J. Trump. Now, let's go back to narcissistic behaviors. Now, Donald J. Trump is a covert narcissist, grandiose narcissist, and a Machiavellian narcissist. Now, a Machiavellian narcissist derived from the word Niccolo Machiavelli, a father of politics in France. And a Machiavellian narcissist, what they do is, no matter the cost, they will achieve power. If it means throw some people to the wolves, they will throw some people to the wolves. Now, JD, with that being said, are you going to be the sacrificial lamb for Donald J. Trump? Are you truly going to carry out his bidding? Now, if it comes down to this, the question that is going to be asked, are you willing to throw out the Constitution for your boss, Donald J. Trump, if he asks you to call for assembly to get rid of a Constitution? Are you willing to sacrifice the rights of millions of Americans to appease your boss? Now, the Marine Corps was established in 1775 under the Marine Corps Act. Now, with simple fidelius, we're going back to that, meaning the love for country, not meaning love for man, the love for the country, taking an oath of protecting Constitution and the people who live in the country. The brotherhood. When combat comes, you have each other's back, no matter what happens, no matter how many bullets are flying or what's the circumstances. Loyal to the cause, meaning no matter what, you are committed to finish the mission out. With that being said, Mr. Vance, you were and are a Marine veteran, and you know simple fidelius, or simplify. So, are you for a man, Donald J. Trump, who's been convicted 34 times or probably a total of 88, depending on how the Georgia cases come out, depending on how maybe Pennsylvania might have a case on him, Arizona. So basically, he might be have 80 something to 90 plus charges going against him. Or are you for your country? Are you for progress? Are you for moving forward? Are you for women's productive rights? These are the questions that you need to ask yourself. Now, with that being said, are you Bruticus for today? Who's I'm not saying do what Bruticus did to Julius Caesar, but I'm just saying be a man, look what's going on around you, and step away and say, I can't do this no more. And remember, you have a person who came after this man and said, so why you flip-flop? What is it in for you? So are you selling your soul to gain the whole world? Now, people think Donald Trump is getting away with everything. No, he's not. He is being held accountable. And even then, when people think he got away with it all, no, he hasn't. Because there are consequences to answer for in eternity. With that being said, advance forward to a better tomorrow and not moving backwards to what Germany suffered in 1932.